Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me here with our first step into the throat chakra on our journey. And as you can see, this video shows that I am talking, but unfortunately you could not hear a single word that I was saying, even though I was wearing a microphone. If that isn't a perfect backdrop for me speaking about Vishuddha Chakra energy, then I don't know what is. I have always been the kind of person who is generally more soft-spoken, and if you go back to any of my earlier videos, like you can tell that you can barely hear what I'm saying, and part of it is just the general tone of my voice. My natural cadence is, this, what someone once referred to as whisper talking. The thing is, I don't think that's really accurate for the way that I actually speak in general. And when I'm actually comfortable and when I feel safe, my voice is actually normal. Like, you can hear me pretty well. But over time, and just from not generally using my voice in that way, I definitely moved into more of a softer speaking voice. And part of that is sometimes people telling me that the tone that I was using was harsh, or that I was, not necessarily speaking in just people being very critical of my voice. It caused me to not want to use my voice and to not be able to use my voice. Even now, after all of these videos I've made, I still get a little uncomfortable with speaking, knowing that someone's going to listen to it, and it still feels weird for me. I am working through it though, and I think I've become a lot more comfortable with speaking. It's easier for me to talk like this, where I know you can't see my face, because I do worry about my facial expressions when I'm talking. And so there are very few videos of me actually talking to the camera, and the ones that I do have, I cringe at. I'm gonna be honest. I just have to listen to them and not look at what my face is doing while I'm talking. But that said, I have made a lot of progress when it comes to comfort with my voice. I should probably take a lesson from those birds and just whatever I sound like, that's what I sound like. But I was really angry with myself when I went to edit this video in particular, because it was like the irony of it being a video meant to help activate the throat chakra, and you can barely hear anything that I'm saying. It's just funny, and very much proof of where I need work. I know we just passed the halfway point from the journey through the chakras with the heart, and to be completely honest, I thought that I figured when I started that I would struggle with this and the solar plexus the most, but I've felt the most impact from working with the heart chakra, which surprised me. I didn't realize how much of a blockage there was there. And I am also realizing how deeply interconnected all of the energy points are. All of the images for the chakras show them as a straight line, straight up and down the body. But what I've come to find is that they're more interwoven than I originally believed. And so this, the sacral chakra is actually about creativity and things like that. But if your heart chakra is blocked, you can't create, because creation involves the heart. Like when you're speaking from the heart, or when you're making something from the heart, it flows differently than it does when that energy is blocked off. And so I'm noticing where there's a greater influence between the energies, and working with the root chakra first allowed and facilitated me getting to the point where I am now with the throat chakra, which is, if you don't feel safe and you are not grounded, you cannot express yourself properly. You cannot speak your truth because you don't feel safe to do so. And I think that has been the biggest hurdle for me, is feeling safe and getting to the point where I feel comfortable enough to use my voice. I need to take a lesson from those birds and learn to use my voice. But I think the main takeaway from this, especially this video, out of all the videos, was really frustrating for me, because it showed where I was still holding myself back, and where I still let the fear of what other people will think impede my progress. Because this video would have been awesome, and I think you guys would have enjoyed it. But because I was so nervous about someone hearing me, because I could hear people outside of the room, I was like, oh, I don't want them to hear me. And I don't know why. It seems silly. And I guess it's leftovers from the past when I had expressed myself and I was kind of made fun of for my expression. And people don't realize the impact and the power of their words. And so to them, they're just making a joke. Or they're just like teasing, and it doesn't mean anything. But to the person that you're directing it towards, it could actually mean the difference between them feeling safe to express themselves and to be who they are and to speak their truth, and shutting all of that down. I sort of feel like I may have mentioned this metaphor before, but walking through a house, and you're leaving the house, you're moving out or whatever, and you're walking through each room and closing each door. And I think in my life, closed a lot of doors. And like every single time, someone said something and I took it to heart, that was another door that was closing. And now, here I am all this time later, walking through that house and trying to open those doors and let some light in and try to enjoy the fullness of the space. It feels weird to try to overcome that hurdle to get those doors open, because they've been closed for so long. I don't even know what's behind the door. I don't even know why I closed the door in the first place. For some, there's just so many little things that you don't really consciously keep track of, but they do get in there. Words are powerful. And I think that's another reason why I'm very careful about what I say. Because I know the impact that words can have. And I am also very much aware of the phrase, intent does not erase impact. So even if you're saying something as a joke, or it's just a casual comment, if it hurts someone, it hurts someone, and you should be aware of it, and you should be conscious, and you should apologize if they do bring it to your attention. And because I've been on the other side of that casual comment turning into something deeper, I'm always wary of what I say. And I think that is another reason why just another barrier to me speaking my truth, is because I don't ever want to be the person that hurts someone else with their words. But I also need to realize that the power of my words can work in a positive direction, and that the things that I say can heal someone, and they can help someone, and they can show someone that they are not the only one. So much of people's pain is centered around them feeling like they are alone in things. And so, from here on out, I will do my very best not to censor myself, and while keeping an eye towards kindness and love. I can't let what other people think stop me from speaking my truth. And I can't let someone else being aware of what I'm saying or doing be a reason to not do what I want to do and what I feel called to do. If you are like me, then this probably is something you needed to hear. Use your words. Be careful with your words, but use them anyway. This video was kind of short, but hopefully something that I said resonated. And I just want to say thank you for sitting with me. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day and that you are well, and I will see you in the next one.